You came for seconds. You're gonna be disappointed, even though I doubt that you have any expectations. So, episode 2, how to put it. It's gonna be about how the internet, at least in my opinion, I don't think this is a very common opinion per se, but I do believe that the internet, like the title suggests, has made the current education system used pretty much globally kind of obsolete. Well, not obsolete, because obsolete automatically in today's society implies that something is useless, it's old, it's not anymore, well, I wouldn't say profitable as much as it is just a good option, but I wouldn't necessarily use that definition. I would say that it's more along the lines of not anymore viable as it used to be, not anymore as good as it once used to be. Kind of like, I don't know, a phone from 2005 put against a phone from 2020. It's kind of like that. It's not like the phone from 2005 is automatically bad. You can't use it. It's just so bad that it can't possibly be used. No, it's more along the lines of you can use it, it's still functional, but why would you use it? I mean, you got a phone from 2020, it's got good cameras, good fucking audio. No, it doesn't. It's got better memory, better operative system or whatever. That's exactly the point I'm trying to make. It's not like the current education system isn't working, for the most part, but it's more like that it's not it's functional but not optimal anymore, because, well, a prime example of this is how book reading, or at least making essays about the books you've read, have completely changed. When talking to my parents about how they used to make school projects and school researches or essays about books, it used to be kind of like this. If you had to review a book in an essay for school, you were pretty much fucked, because you were forced to read the book. You couldn't just use the back of the book. The most you could say you do really to not read the book is ask someone to read the book and tell you how the book was, but at the same time you could very much be just discovered for that. But with the internet, that kind of changed, because now you can just go Yahoo Answers or just Wikipedia or even any fucking shitty reviewing site made by a college student for fucking college credits, I suppose. I don't know, I'm 16, I don't know how credits work. Fucking future studies, whatever. Oh, nah. I'm not that competent. Anyways, to put it simply, pretty much anyone now can make an essay, post it online, and someone else like me will just swoop it up and say, oh yeah, I need to read that book, but I don't want it, because books, that's so boom, and that's so 2001. So, in general, you can easily say that schools haven't quite developed any way to fight this sort of thing. And you know why? Because schools are tied to the government, and government usually takes a long time to kind of just understand something. Thing is that as it currently stands, governments try to halt as much as possible radical change, because, well, radical change has radical outcomes. I know it sounds very deep and philosophical, but it's kind of true, because if you think about it, the more radical a fucking thing is, the more radical the change will be, and therefore the more things can go awry, and basically you can fuck up a lot of things all along the way. So essentially you have an education system which takes a lot of time to adapt, and then you have the internet. The internet is it has rapidly evolved, and it will rapidly evolve as we keep on going forwards. I mean, just look at the lifespan of memes, for fuck's sake. Just look at that as an example. Because how long does a meme last? Well, there's Uganda Knuckles, which has lasted for 2 months. Big Chungus, which has made a return, so 3-4 months most. But in general, memes die after 2 weeks, meaning that essentially every 2 weeks there's something new, and for the education system it's kind of the scary outcome, because if something doesn't last for more than 2 weeks, how are you going to teach about that something if there's so little about it? You cannot. So in general, schools tend to generalize things to give more or less a general outcome of what happened. But even then, if we want to be honest, schools in general don't teach about decently fucking current events. And by current, I mean anything ranging from 50 to 0 years. And that seems like, that's not very current at all. But, well, 50 years ago, how many things from 60 years ago did your history teacher teach you about, like in high school? Probably not that many. Like 1970s, the most he could have talked about were his fucking experiences in childhood. Maybe the Vietnam War, if you got that far into the history book. But usually, from my experience, most books stop at most teachers stop at fucking World War II. And if they can go forwards, they don't get much past the Cold War. They just generalize that after World War II there was the Cold War, and with the fall of the USSR it kind of just fell down. Even though the Cold War is so filled with various events, because it's fucking, 50 years of history. It doesn't sound a lot, because it really isn't looking at the whole of history, but in 50 years a lot happened. Like, technology evolved to just this fucking extent that it really was fucking amazing how the education system managed to, not hold up as much as it didn't lag behind so fucking far that, it just kind of crumbled like it is now. Another thing is, so going back to the book thing, you can't anymore just ask your students to read a book, because everyone knows that the students will just fucking take any just essay done from a 20-year-old college student that had to do it for fucking whatever reason, and we'll just still get a B+, because the teacher knows at this point. Everyone knows. Everyone. And as much as they try to say, we'll find out, no, you just gotta go to page 2 of Google and that's it. You don't need to do much. So, what about the rest of how school operates? Well, with the internet, we can very much see a trend going on. The mixing of information and entertainment. This can be a very bad thing in the case of mainstream media. You can see it. Just fucking how 24-hour TV has destroyed pretty much the spread of information by essentially saying, I will ask this person to have very polarizing views on a subject and express said views, because I need the fucking just viewer to stay there for as long as possible. Then we have, of course, other things, like how Alt History Hub, again, or just a Alt History channel, which is, I think they have very similar names, but they talk very differently. Like, the first is more cinematic, but going away from those, you have a lot of channels that, make absolutely fantastic content. Like, it's entertaining, it's informative, it's nice, it's warm and cozy and comfort food. And then you have a school that just says, you gotta read this paragraph, you gotta learn it, if not, you fucking die. And you lag behind and you're just fucking dead, and did I mention you're gonna have a shitty life? It's not fun. It's not funny anymore. It's just fucking annoying at this point. And having someone being taught to you in an entertaining way does a lot, because really, if you've ever had an experience like mine, where some teachers really just kind of hyped you up and made you like a subject, you can very much see that there's a clear difference between teachers that just make you study because you have to study, and teachers that make you study because they genuinely enjoy their job. I mean, it's such a fucking easy thing, and not even confusingly easy. It's just easy. It's just fucking easy to understand that if a teacher has a love for its job, a love for the subject, then he's gonna teach it better than, something that he's not. But really, That's the point. The point is, when you have creators that just talk about things they want to talk about, and they make it entertaining, you'll have people, of course, choosing that over school. And often what happens is that students come with just this huge luggage of actually pretty useless information, but when you get down to it, it's just as useless as a lot of stuff that school teaches, because a school doesn't automatically know what that student is going to do in his lifetime. No one knows. So what they can say is, we're going to give a pretty general outlook. We're going to give you a lot of general culture that you might not necessarily apply to your fucking field of expertise, but it might just come in useful as general knowledge to keep on perpetuate the trend of knowing stuff. And so, getting to the fucking point, again, I'm just derailing, but thing is that the internet has degraded this sort of attitude to the point where students have started to essentially prefer learning things online rather than learning them from school, because it's simply put it more easy. And with the internet becoming more and more of a prevalent thing, unless schools just becomes, I wouldn't say more entertaining as much as it becomes more hip with the kids, if you will, then it's not gonna die as much as it's just gonna become less of a popular option with more people dropping out. Oh, I'm considering dropping out if this thing becomes even remotely successful. No, actually, no, it's not gonna. But simply put it, the point I'm trying to make is, if you are a teacher, please, for the love of God, just try to make it not boring, or at least try to put a bit of effort into it, because if you're not gonna put effort in it, then students are not. And don't expect students to like everything, because it's gonna be a fucking challenge. So, in general, I hope you liked the video. I'm gonna upload some more, and I see you next time. Implying that I'm gonna still fucking make videos. I'm still gonna make videos though, yeah. Storyfy is a bitch to upload on, because they ask you to actually make fucking a set amount of videos or a series or whatever. I mean, I don't know. So, hope you like this. Fuck you. Bye.